Ever wondered how far engineering can go before it starts to look completely ridiculous? In the world of trucks, bigger and more powerful doesn't always mean better. Some designs pushed innovation so far that they ended up looking downright bizarre, from awkward shapes to seriously unusual features. These machines were built with bold ideas, but not always with perfect balance. Today, we're diving into the 10 biggest and most powerful trucks ever built. Machines so extreme, they'll make you question what the designers were thinking. Some are fascinating, some are confusing, and all of them are unforgettable. One thing's for sure, you've never seen anything like these before. So buckle up, because this ride is about to get seriously wild.
REO Cab Over Engine. The REO Cab Over Engine truck is one of those vintage hauliers that looks downright odd to modern eyes. Built in the mid-20th century, it placed the driver's cabin directly over the engine and front axle, a smart design meant to maximize cargo space while keeping the overall length short for tight roads and city deliveries. It was clever for its time, no doubt, but visually, it tells a different story. That flat, boxy front, unusually high seating position, and stubby proportions make it look almost like a giant toy truck rather than a serious machine. There's something awkward about its stance that just doesn't feel right. While it got the job done efficiently, its strange design and unusual appearance give it a slightly ridiculous vibe, making it stand out as one of the more oddly styled trucks ever built. International Transtar 2 Eagle. The International Transtar 2 Eagle is a classic cab-over truck that definitely turns heads, though not always for the right reasons. Built in the 1970s and 80s as a heavy-duty cab-over semi, it ran powerful Cummins diesel engines paired with Eaton Fuller gearboxes, making it solid for highway hauling. Functional? Absolutely. But visually, it can look downright silly to modern eyes. That boxy flat front cab perched over the engine and axle gives it a squat, awkward stance, while its sharp angles and proportions make it resemble a giant toy block on wheels. Compared to sleeker conventional rigs, it feels unbalanced and clunky, proving that even capable trucks can have a hilariously odd design that stands out in traffic. Thornycroft Antar. The Thornycroft Antar is a truck that feels just as excessive as it looks. Built in the 1950s as a heavy-duty military tractor, it came with a massive 18-litre V8 engine producing around 260 to 300 horsepower, a 6x4 drivetrain, and the strength to haul full-size tanks. It was an absolute powerhouse, weighing over 50 tons, but when you actually look at it, things get a bit strange. The long, bulky nose, high-mounted cab, and stretched-out body make it appear awkward and unbalanced. It almost feels like different truck parts were stitched together without much concern for design. Despite its serious capabilities and military purpose, its odd proportions and unusual shape give it a strangely clumsy vibe, making it look more confusing than intimidating on the road. Scammell Scarab. The Scammell Scarab is easily one of the strangest trucks ever built, and at first glance, it looks more like a toy than a serious working machine. Produced between 1948 and 1967, this bizarre vehicle came with a tiny engine, a three-wheel design, and a single front wheel that could swivel almost completely around, giving it insane maneuverability in tight city spaces. While that made it perfect for quick urban deliveries, its appearance is where things get truly ridiculous. The rounded cab, stubby little nose, and awkward tricycle stance make it look unbalanced, almost like it could tip over at any moment. It's the kind of truck that makes you do a double take and maybe even laugh a little. Sure, it was functional and did its job well, but visually, it feels more like a cartoon creation than a real truck, proving that sometimes practicality comes at the cost of looking absolutely idiotic. Berliet T100. The Berliet T100 isn't just a truck, it's basically a moving mountain, and that's what makes it feel so absurd. Built in the late 1950s, it came with a massive 29.6-liter V12 engine producing up to 700 horsepower, a 6x6 drivetrain, and the ability to haul nearly 100 tons across desert terrain. On paper, it sounds incredible, but visually, it's a different story. Standing nearly 5 meters tall with giant 2.2 meter tires, it looks ridiculously oversized, like a normal truck blown way out of proportion. Its boxy shape and extreme size make it feel less like a machine and more like a giant, awkward beast on wheels. It was powerful and capable, no doubt, but its over-the-top design makes it look more absurd than impressive. Fageol Super Freighter. The Fageol Super Freighter is one of those trucks that makes you stop and wonder what went wrong. Or right. Built around 1950, it featured a very unusual design where the engine sat under the floor, and the tiny driver's cab was pushed all the way to the front, almost like it was glued onto a long trailer body. It was actually quite capable, able to carry heavy loads, and powered by an underfloor diesel engine producing up to around 250 horsepower. But visually, it's a completely different story. It looks oddly incomplete, like someone forgot to design a proper cab and just left a small box at the front of a giant trailer. The long, flat body and awkward proportions give it a strange, unbalanced appearance. Despite its functionality, it ends up looking more like a design experiment gone wrong than a proper truck. International Harvester Metro Van. The International Harvester Metro Van is one of those vintage trucks that somehow feels both odd and oddly charming at the same time. Produced from 1938 to 1975 as a forward-controlled delivery van with a walk-in cab, it ran on a 4.4-liter inline-6 engine producing about 113 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, and featured a boxy steel body built for multi-stop work like milk and bakery deliveries. Functional? Absolutely. But visually, it's hard not to laugh a little. The tall, flat front, stubby proportions, and compact stance make it look almost like a giant toy on wheels, giving it that slightly idiotic vibe. Despite its practicality, its unusual design makes it one of the quirkiest trucks ever made. Diamond T98. Oh. The Diamond T98. Oh is one of those heavy-duty wartime trucks that's as strange to look at as it was tough in service. Built from 1941 as a 12-ton 6x4 tank transporter, it came with a huge Hercules inline-6 diesel, or massive Halcott gasoline engine, capable of hauling up to 120,000 pounds on trailers thanks to low gearing and a 12x3 gearbox. But let's be honest, the moment you see that long, coffin-like hood, boxy wartime cab, and oddly stretched proportions, it feels downright bizarre. Its mismatched appearance almost makes it look like a truck from another era entirely. Functional and powerful, sure, but visually, it's awkward, oversized, and perfectly earns its spot among the most idiotic-looking trucks ever built. Kenworth Bullnose. The Kenworth Bullnose cab over truck is a classic that turns heads for all the wrong reasons. Built in the late 1940s through the 1950s, it ran early diesel engines like Cummins producing 260 to 420 horsepower, paired with fuller gearboxes in a cab-over layout designed for heavy hauling. Functional? Absolutely. But visually, it's hard to take seriously. That rounded bullnose front looks oddly shaped, almost like a puckered snout on wheels, giving the truck a bulbous, unbalanced stance compared to conventional rigs. Its proportions feel awkward and a bit clumsy, making it seem more like a goofy relic from another era than a serious workhorse, proving that even classic trucks can have hilariously odd designs. Walmart Wave Concept Truck. The Walmart Wave Concept Truck is one of the wildest and weirdest semi-truck ideas ever, so futuristic it almost looks like a joke on wheels. Designed in 2014 as the Walmart Advanced Vehicle Experience, it used a turbine-electric hybrid powertrain running on diesel, natural gas, or biodiesel. The driver sits oddly in the center with huge LCD screens instead of gauges, while its 53-foot carbon fiber trailer keeps it ultra-light. Its spaceship-like, highly streamlined shape looks completely out of place next to normal rigs, giving it a bizarre, almost idiotic vibe despite its futuristic functionality.